Hey everybody, and welcome back to Creative Paper Studio. So today I am announcing that I have been accepted onto a new design team, and I am now designing for CollageType. You can find her on Etsy. I will have the link in the description below where you can find her and her kits, and also the other design team members that design for her will be down there as well, so you can go check them out. So, for my first project, of course, I had to stick with what I know, and I know Shabby Chic, right? So, anyway, I chose a kit of hers that I really liked, and don't mind my fingers, they're an awful mess. I need to repaint them and stuff, but they all broke, and anyway, yeah. So, anyway, the kit I chose by her is called Romantic, is it Romantic Garden or Romantic Roses or something like that. I will have the exact name for it down below in the description so that you guys know exactly which kit it is I'm using. And then I'm also using a fussy cut kit of hers that I will show as well. So let me just flip through these real quick. And on the back I have printed, other stuff. Like that's my own coffee dyed paper and things like that. So I love her papers. They're just so pretty. And I love the pink that she does. Of course I love the pink, I'm the Shabby Chic girl. I love this page. It's so just neutral and could go with anything and everything, and I just love it. And this page, I love that page. So pretty. And then she's gave this like the embossed look to it, which I think is really cool. And there you see those roses again. I love how she's framed up this one rose here. I think that's pretty. Her pages are really pretty. I like them a lot. I saw this kit and instantly fell in love. And you get a decent amount of pages. So you get like the journal pages, and then you get like the full pages that I showed. This is part of the fussy cut kit that I got. So I'll show those at the end. But here's the ephemera that comes along with it. And it's nice because she here on her envelope, she's labeled which folds are what, and she's also put a description on here of what it is and how it's supposed to work. And she did the same thing with her pockets as well, so I really like that and can appreciate that. I love these little tabs that she has. I absolutely love this page. And then she's got some journal cards. And then she's got another page of journal cards. And then there's this, and she calls these bookmarks. It says that you can cut them out separately or cut out a set together and fold together to make a mini journal cover or double-sided bookmark. Or you could cut them out separately and use them as tags and such. Okay, okay, so yeah, this is now the other kit, and this is the Pink Botanical Fussy Cut Flowers, and this is printed out at half size. So you get the 2 pages. So you get these on one page, and then you get these on another page. And I printed them at full size and half size. So there's the 2 pages. There's the first page and the second page. And then also with that, you get this collage background page, which I think this is gorgeous. And I've already used this page and played with it some. And then, of course, I've just got some extras here. So, the kit that I just showed you, along with the fussy cuts, my printer printed them wrong. So, I mean, not wrong. They just weren't at the highest quality setting that I could get them on my printer. So, I reprinted them. And I printed them at a higher quality. As you can see, I've already played with it a little bit. And here I've cut out a bunch of the flowers and the ephemera and things like that. And here I've started making some ephemera. I've just made 2 little pieces, but I made this. It's an altered paper clip, so it can go anywhere in your journal. And then it's got these little tags that I took the little fussy cut flowers and put one on each one of these little tags. And I just thought that this was just the cutest little thing. And this was kind of an oops, because I made the CD cover first. This is what I was working on. I was making this altered CD cover, and as you can see, that's the perfect size of that, right? So I took my piece of paper here and I cut the circle out of it. And I'm like, well, what can I do with these circles? Because I had 2, because I had messed up the first one I did. So I had 2 pieces of the circles. So all I did was I took and I folded the one in half to make the pocket here, and then used the other one as the background. And I just backed that on some regular card, and this is what I ended up making out of the leftover piece from this. So this just opens up. It's not decorated on the back or anything. And then the card just comes out, and I've glossy accented on it and that. And then you've got the flower that matches that flower there. And so anyway, that's all I've done is those 2 pieces. I've cut the ephemera out. I have my pages and stuff ready to go. I'm not 100% sure where I'm taking this project yet. I did print out these. I'm not 100% sure where these came from, but I thought that these would match her kit really, really well. And I figured I could make like little postcards out of them, or journaling cards or something. So I printed those. And then I did some stamping on cardstock. And I watercolored this, and it's a bit of a darker pink than what her kit is, but I thought, well, maybe I can use those, maybe I won't. But then I've got these other flowers too that I've stamped on cardstock, and I've just left them the black and white so that maybe I could use those. So anyway, I figured I don't have a plan. I don't know if I want to make a folio, or if I want to use the file folder and make something out of that, or if I just want to do a journal. I'm leaning kind of towards doing a journal because I haven't built a whole journal in quite a while. So I'm thinking maybe I want to do a journal with it. And like I said, I have printed on the back using other pages and stuff from other people. Yeah, I think I'm going to do the whole journal thing. So let me put the ephemera aside for now. I'm going to slide these papers in here. And, okay, so, like I said, I have no plans. I haven't thought this out ahead of time or anything. So, you're getting my whole process of how I think this through and how I figure out what I'm going to do. So there's quite a few pages here to make a journal from, and they've all been cut out and that imprinted on the back. So I think I'm going to start by folding them all in half and getting my signatures built. Well, the main part of my signatures, and I'm going to see how many signatures I'm going to end up with so that I can go from there on if I'm going to do a hardcover or a soft cover. So all my pages I printed on 28-pound paper. It's just a little bit heavier paper than your regular copy paper, and it's not much heavier, but enough that it feels like a very nice quality paper. And I really enjoy using the 28-pound paper for my journal pages. The quality's there, you know. I like making high quality journals, and when I do hardcovers, I like to buy the by Cinch. They have book board that you can get, and you get, I think it's like 3 pieces in a pack for like $3.99, and they're 8.5 by 11-inch pieces. And I buy those every time I go to Hobby Lobby. I pick up whatever they have in stock. Usually they've only got like 3 on the shelf, but I end up buying all 3 of them because I use it all the time and I absolutely love them. So just continuing to fold these in half and set them over here to the side. We will go through them and see what we want to put in what signature and all that fun stuff. And then I do have extra pages printed to use for like backgrounds on making tags and envelopes and our own pockets and things like that too. So I don't know how many parts this series is going to be. I'm probably not going to share every step on camera. I'm probably going to get the series started and going with today's video, and then I'll work on it a little bit tonight, and then you know, just go from there. It's been kind of hard lately to video in my house because my brother-in-law's been here a little bit more than normal. For those of you that don't know, I take care of him. He's on the spectrum for autism, and I help care for him. So yeah, he's been here a little bit more than normal because my mother-in-law has had to work out of town and stuff. And anyway, my sister-in-law moved into the trailer park as well, and she is getting visits with her son now and stuff, and so her son's been over a lot playing video games and things like that with my son. So it's just kind of been chaotic in my house, so getting videos done has kind of been a chore. So I know I want to use this as my cover of my signature. I want to use that for one of them, and I'm thinking this one for the other, because I know I'm going to have at least two. So then we want to separate these out, and I kind of want to see what's in the middle too, to make sure I'm divvying things up nicely. Okay, so we'll do that there and that there, and this is an extra for right now. So that has that as the cover, so I'll put that in that signature. So then we need to find, okay, so I've got that one there. This one's kind of the muted one. I think there's another one that's kind of muted. Oh, I have two of those, so we'll put one in that signature, one in that signature. And then there's two of those, so we'll do one in each signature. It looks like there's two of these, so we'll do one in each signature. And then we'll do that one there, and then like that. Okay. So now I'm going to build my signature, and I kind of want to put different pages in different areas. So I'm kind of just trying to vary the pages. That's one of those. That's a ledger, and this is a writing. Okay, so we'll do the ledger, and then we'll do the writing, and then we'll do this one, and then we'll do a writing, and this one's a writing page as well. So let's stick it right here. Okay, so there's that one, and now let's look at this one. Okay, so this is like a backgroundy. Wow, did I get all the backgrounds in this pile? Or, okay, there's a writing page. That's a background page, and that's a writing page. Okay, so we have to rethink this, because I have like all the background pages here. So let's pull that extra one back out of here and switch it for maybe this one. And then, so that gives me another writing. Okay, so this is a background. Oh, that's the same as that. We'll have to split those up. So then put that there. So see, I'm just playing with the order and trying to split things up so that it looks okay when we flip through it. Okay, so let's flip through and see what this looks like. I don't really want the same pages in the same signature, but I think it might work. I think we'll be all right. Because we'll be able to like put a pocket on here or something and decorate this up to make it look different. Yeah, I think we're all right. Now let's check out our other signature. Make sure it looks okay. This is just so pretty together. I'm really, really enjoying it. Okay. And so there's our two signatures. And I love the covers. So what I like to do with my signatures is, as you can see, when you build a signature, it like gathers here and it gets thicker and thicker and thicker. So it pushes itself out. So then you have this, if you can tell. The edge of my paper is right there, and then all this extra sticks out. So I will eventually take this and lay it flat on my cutting mat, not on here, but on my cutting mat, and I'll put a ruler here and I'll just slice the edges off. But I'm going to wait to do that because I don't know if I'm going to add any more papers in here, or maybe some paper doilies, or, you know, something like that. So I have the two signatures. So we know it's going to be a 2-signature book now. And I'm thinking, I'm trying to figure out if I want to do a hardcover or a soft cover for it. I'm thinking I want to do a soft cover. And for my soft covers, I like to use Amazon packaging. I know, it sounds totally weird. So I just want to make sure that it's a big enough package that it's going to fit around it. And I think that'll be fine. Now, with the Amazon packaging, you gotta be kind of careful because they're not always straight. And I don't mind that if they're not straight. So I'm going to fold this just a little bit further so that I have a little bit of wiggle room. And I'm just going to cut this off. So they're not always 100% straight. So you got to kind of watch for that. And okay, that's all right. So now with my soft covers like this, I like to cover it with fabric. So I'm working with, you know, like roses and pinks and neutrals and things like that. So let me see what kind of fabrics I have. Okay, I have some pinks here. I really like that. I really like this. I don't think I have enough of these. I just have behind me here a fabric drawer. Well, a couple of them. So that's what I'm looking in for fabric. Let me check my other drawer. Okay, I've also got this sparkly pink. And then I've got these. This pink with polka dots might be cute. Let's see here. None of my pinks are really the same pink that she has. Okay, now that's kind of close. I think this is too bright of a pink. And I think this might be as well, as pretty as it is. So, there's also this one. This is more of like a, I don't know, an orangey, reddish pink. I think it's between these two. I think I'm liking this one. Okay. Decision made. All right, so to do this, I'm going to open this piece of fabric up. And then I am going to, I'm going to take just the, like, top strips like this. I'm going to put this on here, and I'm going to snip it bigger than what I know I need it. And then I'm just going to rip it. That way we can get rid of the bulk of it, right? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now I'm going to open this up. Hopefully. Okay. Now I want to make sure I'm not going to be able to see through it. And I'm going to be able to see through it. Okay. So, now what we got to do is get our glass mat out. And I'm going to try and get this sticker off of here. You don't really have to worry about the stickers, but I think if you can pull some of it off, you know, it gives less bulk. And anyway, okay, I'm not going to fight with it. Okay, so I'm going to get my gesso. And I'm going to get me just a cheapy brush here. And we're just going to gesso this. So I'll put some down. And then we'll just start. You want to really, sorry, I'm shaking the camera. You want to really focus on those areas that have the blue. Make sure you cover that because that's what's showing through is the blue. And you may need 1 or 2 coats. We need a little bit more. Put a little glob there and a glob over here. Okay, so the way I do this is I just do one side. I do one layer on one side, trying to cover as much of it as I can. And then I come in with my heat tool and I dry it. And then I flip it over and I do a coat on the other side. And then I come in with my heat tool and I dry it. And then flip it back over to the first side. Do a second coat if needed. And yes, this is messy, but you know, it's what we live for, right? Getting our fingers all messy. Okay, so that's a pretty good coat for our first coat. I'm going to get me a baby wipe and clean up my fingers here. Now, I'm going to pause and I'm going to dry this, do my second coat, do the other side, get it dry, and then I'll be back. So, again, like I said, I do a good coat on this side, I dry it, I flip it, I do a coat on the other side, dry it, flip it back to the first side, coat it, dry it, flip it, coat on the second side. So, in simplest terms, do 2 coats on each side, drying in between coats, and you should be good. Sometimes you can get away with 1 coat if you have, especially if you have the heavy gesso. I just have this bright white matte finish, quick drying gesso. It's not a real heavy gesso, so I usually end up doing 2 coats. But again, if you think you can get away with 1, then just do the 1. So I'm going to go ahead and do 2 coats on each side, drying in between the coats, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So this isn't 100% dry, but it's like 98% dry, okay? But as you can see, I didn't cover the blue completely. I mean, it's still showing through a little bit, but, you know, I'm okay. It's okay. It'll be fine. It doesn't have to be 100% covered. So, a tip for when you're drying, if you're drying with a heat gun in between your layers. This is plastic, okay? So it will burn the paint, the gesso, it will bubble. So just keep your heat tool moving as you're drying and don't just like hold it in one spot and don't get real close or anything like that. Like, it doesn't matter if the paint bubbles a little bit because we're covering this with fabric anyway, but you don't want to melt your plastic and stuff. So there is that. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my fabric and I'm going to lay it out to where I know my center is somewhat in the center, if that makes sense. Okay, now I'm good with the amount that's on each side, top and bottom. This will have to get cut a little bit here. That's okay. I am going to use my Fabri-Tac now. Okay, and I need to clean off the top of my bottle, so give me just a moment. Okay, so I just have my Fabri-Tac here. Fabri-Tac, Fabri-Fix, 3-in-1, whatever. They're all the same. Now I'm going to put some on here, and I'm not going to worry too much about getting real close to the edges because I am going to take mine to the sewing machine and I'm going to stitch around it. And I probably don't have enough on my bobbin to do so. So I'm probably going to have to pause again and wind a new bobbin, but that's okay. The only thing you want to make sure of is that you don't have any like major lumpy bumpies or big pools of glue that are going to show through your fabric. Okay, now some might show through. It'll be alright if a little bit does. It just adds to the characteristics, right? Now see, that's still wet up there, so I just put my hands in wet paint. That's okay. It is okay. Okay. Just getting the paint and the glue off my fingers. Okay, so the way I've done this is I can bring this over like so, and then we can just trim it on the one edge if we want to, or I can trim it towards the middle and have both edges finished, which is what I think I'm going to do. So my glue's over here irping at me. Okay, so I'm going to cut it a little past halfway, and then I'm just gonna give that a rip, and then I will fold this one. Okay, so make sure this one stays how it's supposed to be. Then I'm going to fold this side over, and I will cut it to where it overlaps the middle, and then give that a rip, and you have some extra fabric now to play with. And so now I'm going to glue these down. Okay, so I'm going to open it back up. I'm going to do one side at a time. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to stitch mine. Now I am going to bring this in. I want my side to look fairly nice. And then I'm going to smooth it this way so that I don't get any wrinkles. Okay. And then we'll glue this side. Okay. And then I'll pull this in like so. Okay. Now I have an area here, inside here, that isn't glued down. So I'm going to take my glue here and go over the fabric. And there we have that. Okay, so I'm going to clean my glue tip and put the glue away. And then, as you can see, my stuff is like way off here, so I'm just going to go in and give it a rough trim. Okay. I'll do the same thing on the other side. Flip it over, make sure it looks all right, and it does. Okay, so now that I have this covered, and I don't have to worry about paint getting everywhere, I can remove my craft tool, or towel. I don't know why I said craft tool. I have a little bit of paint on my desk that I want to clean up before it gets too stuck on. So bear with me while I do that. Okay. So at this point, you can do a couple of things. Okay. So I know this is my inside because that's where the stuff comes together. And I know this is my top because that's the way the fabric goes. I've got all kinds of stringies and stuff. And glue and paint on me and blah. Okay, so what I'm going to do now at this point in time is I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and I'm going to flip it so that the front of the cover is facing up, and I'm going to do a zigzag stitch along my edges, okay? And the reason I'm going to do that is just because I like to stitch around my fabric covers and my soft covers like this. I think that it makes it more secure. If you don't have a sewing machine, you could hand stitch it with a needle and thread if you want to. And even though this seems like, oh, that's kind of thick, it's just an Amazon wrapper and a couple layers of cotton. You'd be able to go through that with, you know, your needle and thread. If you don't want to stitch, then just make sure you got real close up to your edges with your glue, and that should be good enough. Now, on the top and the bottom edge here, I did leave a little bit overlapping. As you can see there, I've got a little bit of extra fabric. Now, after I stitch around this, I can go back and cut that off if I want to, or I can pull some of these threads and fray it, which this is going to be a Shabby Chic book, so I'm probably going to leave my extra material on the top and bottom and fray it after I sew it. So I do not have enough thread in my bobbin to stitch this right now, so I'm going to pause you guys. I'm going to wind me a new bobbin, and I'm just going to do a regular zigzag stitch around this, and then I'll be back. Okie doke. So my stitching is not perfect around here. I got a little goof up right there. Let's see if we can't fix that where it got caught. Now, I'm not cutting my stitches here where those got caught. I'm just cutting the fabric and pulling the fabric out from underneath the stitch. Because it just got caught, which happens. So, nothing I'm gonna worry too much over. It's a junk journal. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now I'm gonna go back and I'm going to pull on these strings here to fray my edges some. There we go. Now for those aren't wanting to come, so I'll just trim those down. Got a couple loose ends over here. So just any loose ends that you see, just go ahead and pull on them. And sometimes you gotta pull a little harder than others because they're a couple of string layers down in your material. But it'd be okay. And then the more you work with this, the more you play with it and add to it and all that fun stuff, the more frayed it will become. Okay. So there we've got that. And then when we fold it in half, we can decide what we want to be our front and our back. I think I left the fabric at the top a little long, but that's okay. We'll revisit that later. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to go back to our signatures and make sure that our signatures fit within the cover we've made. And mine fit just fine. So there's that. And you got to think about also too what kind of closure you want. So if you want this to have a ribbon closure that goes all the way through it, you know, you could have done that before you sewed your cover on so that it comes out the edges here and that's all you see. Or you could put it in now to where that's what you see when you open it up, that you'll see a ribbon going through. Or you could tie something around the outside or put something on the inside here or whatever. Now, I have some of this elastic cording, or elastic band as it's called, and I think I want to try and do something with it for my closure. And let me find the end here. Here's the end. It's like the perfect width to have one that comes around like so. Let me think this through. Like I said, I haven't planned any of this. We're just kind of going on a whim here. Okay, so if I do that like that, I could cut this about there. Okay, so now I want a marker, and I'm gonna go in. I don't know how far I'm gonna go in. I'm trying something I've never done before, so if this is a total fail, I am sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna go from this line. I'm using the solid line here on my ruler, and I'm gonna go in an inch and mark a hole. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go from that line on the ruler in about an inch, and I'm gonna mark a hole. Okay, I hope this works. I'm gonna find me a couple of matching eyelets, and I'm gonna use white. Okay, so I've got me a couple white eyelets. I'm gonna grab my crocodile here. Okie doke. I'm gonna use my big hole, and I'm going to punch right where I marked those holes. And then I'm going to insert the eyelet, give it a smush, insert this eyelet, give it a smush. I apologize if I am off camera. There, I just dropped my eyelet. Okay. Cooperate with me here. You gotta get under there. Oh, it might help if I open my crocodile up all the way. Huh? Okay, and smush. So now I'm going to, I should have done this part before I folded the stuff in. Okay, I'm going to feed this into here. Okay. Now, I'm going to, I think, do a little zigzag stitch over that, or a straight stitch, or some sort of stitch. So, let me get my machine here. You want to make sure you pull it out of your way on the other side. I'm just going to do a regular straight stitch across it, and then back across it. And I'm going to go over it, I don't know, 2 or 3 times. Okay, I think that's good on that one. Now I'll do the other end. Sorry, I'm off camera doing this. Stitch, stitch, back stitch. Do that a couple of times. Okay. So now, how I should have done this, but didn't, is I should have put on my front cover, and then before I wrapped it around, I should have put my eyelets in, and then put my elastic on. And then that way, when we folded our cover in and covered this in, it would have covered our elastic, and it would have covered our stitching. And then we wouldn't have the elastic or the stitching visible. But with the elastic there, I mean, you could tuck your pin into it like so. I mean, probably kind of dumb, but whatever. Just an idea. Okay, we know for next time now, right? We know next time, if we're going to do an elastic closure like this, we need to, you know, do it before we cover the inside of the journal. Okay, so I'm just going to test this out. Okay. Seems to be a-okay. It's loose enough that I can grow my journal with it. Okay, works for me, works for me. Okie doke. So, the next part of this is I'm going to want to figure out if I want to add any other pages to my signatures and which signature I want to be number 1 and number 2. So, I think I'm going to end the video here for now. I'm going to find me some signatures, or some signatures. I already have my signatures. D to D. I'm going to find me some other papers to go into my signatures just to bulk it up a little bit. I might put a couple of pink doilies in here, or, you know, a couple of book pages or something like that, just to kind of zhuzh it up a bit, to give it more interest when you're flipping through it. I might put an envelope or something in here, you know, but I'll show you guys that in the next video that I do. So I will go ahead and finish adding on ends into my signatures, and then I will probably sew my signatures in off screen. I just recently in my group showed how to do a beginner's journal start to finish video, and I showed how to do the 3-hole pamphlet stitch and sew in your signatures. So if you want to check that out, click on the link down below to go over to Creative Paper Studio Facebook group, and yeah, that video for sewing in signatures is over there for you. So like I said, I'm going to finish filling up my signatures and get them sewn into the cover, and I will be back tomorrow with maybe another video, just decorating and showing you what all I decided to put into my signatures. I think I'm going to put this one first. I don't know. Either one's really pretty. Anyway, that's it for me today. I appreciate you guys being here and watching my videos. I hope you enjoyed what I did today. And, you know, it's not a perfect cover that we made, but it's a cover that I enjoy, and it's handmade, and it was made with love, and I am liking the way that it has come out. So give this video a like, subscribe to my channel if you aren't subscribed already, and hit that notification bell. That way you're notified every time I upload a new video. So until next time, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, do what you love, and keep it creative. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.